And we're very yellow and live!
We are.
Welcome to episode 208. I think.
No, I think it's 209.
209. Yeah, I think that's why I'm pretty sure you're right. Hi. How's it going? I hope everyone's doing well. We are doing well. Alan and I look very yellow today because I think we have similar bulbs in our ceilings, and my usual light setup kind of broke the other day. And Dave has become a master villain who will be taking on Bond.
I think we'll call him
week.
Mr. We'll just call him Mr. X from now on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like we'll have to like muffle his voice and everything.
So hold on. Alan, take over. I don't even have my beer. Hang on.
Oh, jeez. All right, so we are going a little bit off the board. We're going to try a brewery that we haven't tried before, but we all couldn't get the same beer, unfortunately. So Dave and I have one beer from this brewery, and Shane has a different one. And I'm kind of jealous of Shane's beer because it actually sounds really, really, really good, but we couldn't get our hands on it here in Victoria. So it's Backcountry Brewing, which is located in Squamish, British Columbia, and they have like a very nice looking tap room and lots of different beers. So we're happy to give them a try for the very first time. And Shane, let's start with you with your beer.
Yes.
What have you got for us?
Now, my peanut gallery actually found this beer randomly in North Vancouver. What, a week ago? So she brought it back and said, you guys really like the barrel aged stuff, so you should have this one. So I don't know where it's available except for what you went to a private liquor store, right? Okay, so it was a private liquor store. It was not the BC liquor store system, but it's called it's the Backcountry Brewing limited release. It's a barrel aged, keep the change, you filthy animal imperial stout. So yeah, I'm very glad she found this because I have seen it nowhere else except for I guess that one store. But I'm assuming it must be elsewhere. Now, what this is, it is a coconut coffee vanilla stout, which is also barrel aged. The international beer units are currently rated at 40 according to the can. And it's extra strong beer rocking in at 9% alcohol. So,
jeez, it's a party in a can.
So, and actually, this is important to mention on the back of the can that says a portion of our Keep the Change Imperial Stout has been resting in the Woodford Reserve bourbon barrels. Holy cow, I've actually been there. I actually went to Woodford a few years ago in Kentucky. Bourbon barrels for nearly a year. To make this monster, the beer has been blended with a small amount of fresh Imperial Stout and then aged on house toasted coconut, vanilla beans, and espresso from Portland's Heart Coffee Roasters. So I guess this is kind of a collaboration as well. And so what did you guys pick up?
Okay, so what we got, I believe Dave and I have the same thing. Right, okay. Yeah, so it's also a limited release. It's their Your Mom Goes to College Boysenberry Pie Sour. It comes in at 5.5% alcohol. And I'll just read what it says on the back here of the can. It says, we brought back a crowd favorite, but for this edition, we ratcheted it up a notch. Huge doses of boysenberry and vanilla are complemented by additions of cinnamon and house-toasted coconut to create that pie you've been missing now that your mom's away at college. Cheers. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting about their marketing is like for this one here, Your Mom Goes to College. That's a line from Napoleon Dynamite. Shane, yours is Keep the Change, You Filthy Animal, which is a line from
Home Alone.
Home Alone. So that's kind of an interesting marketing thing.
Well, we've actually seen a few times where beer has made references to Home Alone specifically. So it is definitely not unusual. So
All right. Well, let's.
I just want to drink it. Why are we even talking about this?
Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's jump in. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to give scores or any one score for, because we're drinking different beers here. Holy crap! Look at this. Oh,
ooh, here we go. Ooh,
look at this sour. Okay, so the lighting, the camera doesn't show it, but it's like red. This is like blood red.
So that's actually what that cranberry kettle sour that we had for around partway through October should have been color-wise. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I'm gonna. By the end of the show, Dave will be touching himself. So, here you go, Peanut Gallery. Actually, hang on. Don't take it away yet. Let's make sure we share evenly in this household. That's the deal.
All right, well, Shane, let's see yours.
Hang on. Just touch. No, you. Good job there. Oh, here. There. There we go. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Hang on.
Get every last drop.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Here we go.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, unfortunately, I don't have the daylight bulb. I have the yellowy sort of 1970s.
It looks
thing going
very
on.
dark.
It's very dark. It's black. So here we go.
I think that means he likes it. Either that or he's died.
Wow, that is holy cow. Hang on, let's try that again.
Okay, I gotta find this beer. That's all there is to it.
You know what this is? You know what's really good about this one? Is apparently it makes my hair go everywhere. But more importantly, you know how the bourbon barrel aged stuff has that real sort of sharp tartness that yes. sort of gets you at the very beginning.
Yeah.
This one is smooth. Like it's still there, but it's not that level of tartness that really kind of, because sometimes it's like, I like the flavor, but I don't want to swallow it because I feel like it's going to scrape me on the way down. But this one is actually, it's like a blanket.
Oh
God, it's like a donut. Oh, it's like it tastes like a donut. Why? Hey, Peanut Gallery, get to North Van immediately and find more of this. This was the last one. It was the last one? In your face, backcountry. Actually, more importantly, in your face, boys. So yeah. Oh wow, that is really good. So
if you were, if you were going to give it a rating from 1 to 10, what would it be?
This is this goes all the way to 11. I mean, that's how. I mean, what I also think possibly is going on here is that because it also has the coconut and vanilla in it. Because it definitely, you can taste a little bit of coffee, but I'm curious if the coconut vanilla are sort of combined that's where the smoothness is coming from. It's not really coconutty. It's not really vanilla. You get a hint of coffee, but I think those other flavors are sort of balancing it out, which makes it give that sort of, not so, oh yes, this has been aged in a bourbon barrel. It's more of this has been aged in a bourbon barrel, and gives you that loving embrace that you really should always have when drinking these things.
Right.
And the 9% alcohol doesn't hurt either.
So for us, Dave, with our beer, my first thought is it doesn't taste like beer. This tastes like juice.
Yeah, it's another juice beer.
It's a juice beer, but I mean, it's more juice than beer. That's not a bad thing. In fact, I kind of like that. Sours for me have kind of run their course. But this is really good. Like, I would get this again. Dave?
Yes, I would get this again. It's it smells awesome.
It does.
It smells awesome. Sorry, I was like, really? It smells that bad? Oh, okay.
It's on the delivery, boys.
So I gotta say
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Have we had this before?
No.
Or sorry, not this beer. Have we had Backcountry Brewing?
No,
before?
We've never had Backcountry Brewing before.
Because I just opened up their website just to check them out a little bit because I want to see. Sorry, which is the one you guys have got? You got the blackberry peach pie sour?
No, actually, ours isn't on the website.
Okay, so okay. I'm just curious because so take a photo of the can so I can put it in the thumbnail. Yeah, because I see the peach pie sour, but nothing else.
Yes,
I'm curious.
I'm going to suggest that ours is a limited release, and I'm going to suggest that Victoria is a little bit behind the Lower Mainland. And maybe we have this, and it's probably done its course in Vancouver and area.
They also have a beer club. Backcountry Brewing has a beer club, where I guess you get beer. You get like if you join their club, you get a discount on their retail stuff,
like a punch card or something.
Maybe
buy 10 beers, get the 11th one free.
That would be kind of awesome. I mean, like I'm just looking at their beers here, and you can tell that they must have fun doing this because they've got the Widowmaker, the Trailbreaker, the Dead of Night. But I've noticed that a bunch of their limited releases are Surely You Can't Be Serious, Don't Call Me Shirley, Off the Ropes, The Sour Bastard. So
clearly they have a sense of humor,
which is good. Which is awesome. I think that they should do that more often, or other breweries should do that more often, because sometimes it's like, well, I guess you got a marketing campaign of some sort, but
so Dave, if you were going to rate this beer out of 10, how would you?
I'm counting on you, Dave. Hey, by the way, Dave, that chair, I farted in it. So keep going.
Probably many times, yes. I'm going to say 8.5.
8.5. Okay. I was going to give it an 8 myself. It's a really good sour. I'm not big on sours though. But I mean, for a sour, it's really good. And this is a good serve. Like if you're not a beer drinker, but everybody else is having beers or something, you can have one of these and you wouldn't even know you're drinking a beer. I mean, it's just alcoholic fruit juice.
And I want to also point out something about Backcountry Brewing, which you rarely see this anywhere. Like on the brewery's websites, they actually have a listing of where you can actually buy these things. Because sometimes you'll get the where to buy, and then it will like point at, you click on it and it goes to like BC liquor stores. But this actually has tells you exactly where the beer is available.
Oh,
so they actually have a listing for Victoria here. Liquor Plus in Saanich, which is the one I normally go to. The Hillside Liquor Plus on Shelburne there. The Liquor Plus in Royal Oak. So Liquor Plus seems to be their distributor. And then of course the rest of the Cook Street Village Liquor Store, Cask and Keg Liquor Store.
I've never even heard of it.
Which is in Esquimalt. And everything, and all of there's another like 6 or 7 listings, but they're like Nanaimo, Courtney, Duncan, Comox, etc. So, but the other interesting thing is, and this is why I was thinking to bring it up, is when I looked at Vancouver, not only do they list retail places to buy it, they also give you a list of where you can buy it, where you can actually get it on tap.
Oh,
which I thought was actually a very cool little thing. So
yeah, for sure.
So there we go. So I gotta say, Backcountry Brewing is kind of, it's
kind of impressing me.
I gotta say, Dead of Night Galaxy IPA is their newest full-time beer, or is that what they call it? Full-time beer. There we go. Okay. So I want to try more of their stuff because just the other day I got ambitious on Remembrance Day after paying my respects and whatnot. I brewed beer and cider. So hopefully I have to dry hop in a few days, but wet hop, dry hop, whatever. But essentially, yeah, I gotta say these guys are
right.
Well done. Which is a rare thing that we can actually say about some breweries that we've encountered. And we don't want to be bad or be negative about other breweries, but there's just some things that when you see another brewery like going a little bit not over the top, but they're making a bit of an effort to make sure that people understand where their product is available. For example, a lot of breweries don't do that, and it doesn't take a whole lot for them to sort of jump that hoop. So jump that hoop to leap over that particular thing. So anyway, and the reason I say that I don't want to be negative and don't want to, I'd like to be positive all the time about every product that we've actually reviewed on the show. Alan has brought it to our attention that one of my favorite people from the Growler, which is a website, I think based out of Vancouver, that initially was basically just a map telling you where you could get growlers filled in the Lower Mainland. So, Alan, do you think that this guy's taking shots at us?
Well, I don't think he's taking shots at us. He's not taking shots at us directly. He's taking shots at our ilk. Us and all the people who are like us, who are supposed beer reviewers, and he questions whether we actually are, and whether or not we're hurting the craft beer industry. So this was written by just got to bring it up here, by Ben Johnson from the Growler. And what he's suggesting is that people like us who are not official reviewers, we're not paid to do that by a newspaper or something like that, that we are the critical voice is getting lost. And therefore, we're not pushing breweries to put out better product. So the product is actually, the quality is going downhill, but we keep pumping it up. And so we're creating sort of like a lowest common denominator kind of scenario.
So basically, this guy, I'm just looking at the last little bit, where basically, I mean, this entire thing is culminating in this whole idea that these beer influencers that are out there, which I don't follow influencers. Well, this is the thing, is I don't really follow them because actually partly for this reason, that I know that they receive product for free. But full disclosure on this little show here, we pay for all our beer.
Yeah, we don't get anything for free. Nobody would give us anything for free.
Well, here's the thing, even if we were the biggest show ever on the planet, I would not want to accept free beer. Maybe merchandise, hats, shirts, that kind of thing.
Sure.
But definitely not the beer itself, because I feel that us three here do this for fun, and when Locke is here, it's even more so. But the reality is that we don't do this to be hugely critical or lovey-dovey with beer, unless it's Fat Tug. Because the thing is, when we always bring up Fat Tug as being, which is probably the best IPA that I've ever had. But it doesn't mean that there's IPAs that aren't as good. But the thing is, the consistency, and every time I've had it, it just reminds me of how good that beer is. Mm-hmm. And but they haven't given us free stuff. They haven't, they've earned that position just for the simple fact that they made beer. Which reminds me, I heard a rumor just the other day. It's completely partially as an aside because we're going to the holiday season. that Strange Fellows is actually bringing out an advent calendar. Which apparently has been really hush hush or whatnot. So I haven't seen it anywhere, but that's the rumor. Who knows? So it might be something to consider. And since Dave is now in a land of milk and honey in terms of many, many stores, he, of course, is going to be buying an advent calendar and going along with this year. Because, so, but yeah, but that's the thing is that I understand what he's saying, because this has always been a problem with influencers in general, because the influencers, they work hard, they build their audiences and whatnot. And then you see, I mean, if you really think about it, the Kardashian types, which I've never ever followed, but how can you not hear about them in the news every once in a while? That's basically what they are. They're influencers. I mean, they had a TV show behind them, but let's pretend for a minute that they didn't. And let's pretend that they actually did a thing where they created this goodwill, but they are also people that get product for free and get paid gazillions of dollars to basically shill product to their audience. So, which I don't mind. If you guys have ever heard about go ahead.
I would be okay with accepting free beer for us to review if we made it understood that if we don't like it, we're going to say that we don't like it.
Well,
you know what? If a brewery believes in their product enough, then they will take that risk.
I suppose. But here's the problem: is that those kinds of agreements do occur and they do exist. But I understand again from Brian. It's a Brian Johnson, right? No, Brian Johnson. Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson. Wasn't that a runner?
He's a disgraced Olympian.
Big guy. Yeah, he was the man. He got injected.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I understand what he's saying, specifically because I could totally see smaller creators like us, somebody offering us free product would be like, yeah, totally. I'm not of that realm. Like I never want it to be implied or even people to think maybe that I got free stuff so I could have it, drink it, and be like, yeah, it's the best thing ever, and then turn around and barf into a bucket. Like I don't want to ever barf into a bucket. Although the cucumber thing from Granville Island bringing pretty damn close.
It wasn't Granville Island. It was Steamworks.
Oh, was it Steamworks? Was that the cucumber? Oh God!
Yes.
I'm sorry, Granville Island. Up yours, Steamworks, for creating a really weird ass beer that I don't think worked. But
gross.
But basically, yeah, I don't ever want for us to ever be, somebody to go, oh, they said a nice thing about Fat Tug, so they got a whole bunch of Fat Tug for free. No, we paid for every single can, we paid for every single beer we've had on the show. So, and that's the way I like it, because I want us to be able to go.
Having said that,
I'm drinking beer this week. Well, sponsors, yes, sponsors by all means. We'll talk about how awesome your logo is. But I want to move on to
our former sponsor.
Yeah, former. They were never a sponsor, but they came close. But let me point out one thing that's also important when it comes to talking about how social media is changing the craft beer culture. I saw The Mandalorian. I saw The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian dropped today.
And no spoilers.
So did you subscribe to Disney Plus?
Oh my God, is it good? Oh my God, is it good? Holy shit, is it good? Okay. I recommend it. I full disclosure, I got up this morning at 5:30 because we've been waking up earlier for whatever reason. And the peanut gallery went off to do some contract stuff. And so I was there at 6 o'clock this morning going, yeah, contract stuff. She's taking care of some business.
Concrete shoes, cyanide, TNT,
high voltage. So anyway, she left really early this morning, and I was like sitting there going, "Yeah, boy, it's 6 a.m. I should go back to bed, cuddle the dog some more." And then I thought, no, wait a minute. What's today? Today's the 12th. Hey, or no, today's the 13th. That means, what the day is it today? Oh my God, I don't even know what date it is anymore. The 13th. Disney Plus dropped yesterday. That means The Mandalorian, it's there. So that's what I did at 6 a.m. this morning. Was watch the full episode of the first episode, which is only the only episode that's available because they're doing the weekly release thing, like TV. So
now once an episode is posted, it stays there, right? So like if I choose to subscribe 6 months from now, I can watch.
You could binge the whole thing, yeah. Okay. So I have to say, it looks gorgeous. There weren't no, because I've seen it twice now. There aren't any love letter moments, really. The world is very fleshed out. It's basically, hey, let's go over here and look at this dude's life for a little while. And and there are stormtroopers in it very briefly, which the Peanut Gallery pointed out. Apparently, we're volunteers from the 501st. So yeah, and they were really cool because it's 5 years after the Return of the Jedi. And we all know that the Empire kind of falls apart after that. And then and this is not a spoiler, but the uniforms that the stormtroopers had were very worn, dirty, damaged. They weren't like pristine, clean uniforms, which was really nice. So it kind of just little touches like that definitely added to we're not at New Order world. We're still in, remember Jerry? Yeah, I haven't seen him for a few years. What the hell's going on with him? That kind of play sort of amount of time. So Carl Weathers, really good. Enjoyed him. The Mandalorian never takes off his helmet, which was apparently commented on a lot online. What else? I will not
up for that.
The butt, sorry?
I'm betting on a build up for that.
Oh yeah, totally.
No, totally. Yeah, I mean,
that's going to be like the Sam and Diane thing from Cheers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like as soon as that helmet comes off, that series is over.
Which reminds me, speaking of Sam and Diane, this just as you mentioned it popped into my mind. I watched an interview with Kelsey Grammer a couple days ago that was shot last week or week before, and apparently Frasier's coming back for a new TV series. Apparently, he's like, yeah, no, it's going to happen. So apparently it's already in the works. It's already
he needs more money.
Well, exactly. I mean, they did actually talk about that. Like, why would you do that? He's like, well, the fan base keeps coming and keeps growing. So, why not do something at least? But yeah, what else? The very end of the episode is shocking. And I would say if there was any fanboy moment, that was kind of the moment.
Okay.
The one thing actually that I might have just missed it is I actually don't know what planets they're on. They don't actually mention them. There's 2 planets, I think. Is it 2? Might even be 3. But according to the description on Wikipedia, apparently it's far beyond the reach of other stuff. So it's quite a ways out on the I guess what we've become known as the outer rim. So it's a ways out on the other side of the galaxy from where, like, I always picture the galaxy as the Empire is kind of in the middle, the Rebellion is kind of in the south of the galaxy map, reaching into the middle. The hut space is on the sort of the eastern side of the galaxy. And the outer rim has always been sort of in the west. It's like the Wild West, I guess, is kind of the implication. But anyway, yeah. So overall, holy cow, man! I watched it twice today, and I enjoyed it. There's nothing that jumped out at me going, "Oh my god, this is all like Phantom Menace." Not Phantom Menace of Force Awakens. Where Force Awakens was, it was okay, but there was a little too much, fan service. And granted, it was made by people that are kind of our age, who are fans, kind of like us, so they couldn't resist. But
couldn't you say that of Favreau?
Favreau wrote this episode. It wasn't directed by him.
He's a lot older than us, is he?
Not by much, no. Favreau, well, we have the power of the internet.
Gen Xers.
Favreau is he is 53, so he's a few years older than us. But but I mean, this is the thing, right? He grew up in the same headspace as us, for the whole exposure to Star Wars, etc. So I give it a thumbs up because I don't have that visceral reaction of why did they do those things? Because we don't want to know how the Millennium Falcon got its sassy robot brain. It's cute, sure, I don't mind it really, but it wasn't something we needed to know. And they spent a lot of time trying to explain it. So anyway, but there you go. That's my Mandalorian story. And you know what, Ben Johnson from the Growler, you should come on this show at just once, because we should talk about how you would prefer us individuals, the influencers, to talk about beer, because I like talking about it from the fact that I'm hanging out with two cool people. But what else should we do? Like, what else? How do you, I mean, sure, we could rate beer like we have started doing. Like, I give this an 11 stars out of 10. Or is it 5 stars? I don't even remember anymore. But they're definitely, yeah, exactly. So, if you would prefer us to do it a different way, come on the show, and we'll send you a link to this episode. I'm sure there's contact details somewhere here, but there you go. So, because I want to be fair to the beer, and I think we are pretty fair to the beer. We haven't run across too many things that are awful, but when they are awful, we have called them out. So, or at least cucumber.
Or swamp ape.
Or swamp ape, which dudes, I want to actually get that and mail you guys bottles, because you've got to experience the pain that I went through. And that'll be probably the only show where we don't actually drink all the beer. They'd be like, yeah, this is horrible.
No, we didn't drink all the beer when we did the malt liquor.
I did.
Not in the show.
Right after the show, I finished it off.
I don't mind.
No, all right. I wrecked my body after that. So, there you go. So I give it my beer 11. You guys, have you guys given stars yet? Sorry,
I think I gave 8. He gave 8.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then there you go. Backcountry, you are climbing the charts for our on our little show here. I'll make a note in the spreadsheet. They're climbing the charts. But overall, we are at half hour. So as we always promise, we will try to keep our shows shorter, because that was the only feedback we've ever received. And by the way, where is our best friend from Vancouver Island, Dave McCann? Where are you, man? Weekend Nachos, where have you been? We have not had any commentary or any sass from you guys. Please let us know how we're doing, and sass us, because hey, you'll notice the new format, the little, we're the talking heads of the news now.
Yeah.
That was more of a technological thing that we had to deal with, but whatever. Yeah. But still, hey, check us out. So of course, make sure you tell people about the show, do all that social stuff where you click the little bell thing and you subscribe to our channel and all that kind of fun stuff, because we do this for us, and if you enjoy it, please let us know, because otherwise we'll just sit here and keep doing it, and in like 6 or 7 years they'll be like, well, this is episode 824 and we have all of our livers replaced by machines now. And so that'll be great.
He's more machine now than liver, twisted and evil.
Not to mention, we're also coming up into the Christmas season. We think we're going to be doing, we know we're going to be doing an advent calendar. It is going to be the
Central City one.
Central City. I was about to call it the Coast Capital Advent Calendar. So the Coast.
Jade, you're drunk. Go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell? Okay. Yeah. So make sure to let us know. And as always, Alan, take us out.